By the end of 2026, Earth's weather patterns could begin to completely break down. Scientists have detected an enormous surge of heat building beneath the Pacific Ocean, and it may be powerful enough to trigger the strongest Super El Niño in modern history. Massive flooding across the United States, catastrophic wildfires in Australia, violent storms, deadly droughts, and record-shattering global heat. If the latest forecast models are correct, 2027 could become the hottest year ever recorded on Earth, and the process has already begun. The entire equatorial Pacific Ocean is beginning to change beneath the surface. Meteorologists are now closely monitoring the latest supercomputer climate models for late 2026, and those models are showing a dangerous rise in ocean temperatures. The data is pointing toward a massive global climate event known as a Super El Niño, a phenomenon that could reshape weather systems, rainfall patterns, and storm tracks across the planet from 2026 into 2027. But what exactly is a Super El Niño? To understand that, we first need to understand how a normal El Niño works. Under normal conditions, Earth's atmospheric pressure systems create a massive belt of constantly moving winds, known as the trade wind. Across the Pacific Ocean, these winds blow from east to west, pushing air from the coast of South America toward Indonesia and Australia. As these winds continue blowing, they constantly push warm surface water toward the western Pacific. Over time, an enormous reservoir of warm water builds up near Australia and Indonesia. Because this warm water is pushed away from South America, cold water from the deep ocean rises to replace it. This process is known as upwelling. Upwelling brings cold, nutrient-rich water to the surface, creating one of the richest marine ecosystems on Earth near Peru and Ecuador. But every few years, this entire system begins to weaken, and that's when El Niño begins. During El Niño, the trade winds that normally blow from east to west start losing strength. The atmospheric pressure holding the warm water in the western Pacific begins to collapse, and gravity takes over. Billions of tons of warm water slowly begin flowing back toward South America. This warm water travels eastward through massive underwater waves deep inside the Pacific Ocean. As the warm water reaches the coast of South America, it acts like a lid over the ocean. The cold, upwelling water can no longer rise to the surface. Ocean temperatures begin rising rapidly, and the massive heat stored inside the Pacific Ocean starts transferring directly into the atmosphere. That's when weather patterns around the world begin to change. Extreme rainfall, dangerous heat waves, and major shifts in storm tracks begin appearing across the globe, and if current climate models are correct, 2026 could bring one of the strongest El Niño events ever recorded. But how do scientists actually measure the strength of El Niño? Meteorologists use something called the Oceanic Niño Index. This system tracks how much warmer the central and eastern Pacific Ocean becomes compared to normal temperatures. If ocean temperatures rise 1.5 degrees Celsius above average, it is considered a strong El Niño. But when temperatures rise 2 degrees Celsius or higher, it becomes a Super El Niño. In modern history, two of the strongest El Niño events occurred in 1997 and 2015. The 2015 event was especially extreme, with temperatures reaching nearly 2.75 degrees Celsius above normal. But now, scientists are becoming increasingly concerned about the latest 2026 projections. Several climate models suggest temperatures could rise above 3 degrees Celsius. If that happens, this could become the most powerful El Niño event since the 1800s. And this is not just computer modeling. Real-time ocean observations are already detecting unusual heat beneath the Pacific Ocean. Around 100 meters below the surface, ocean buoys are recording water temperatures that are 5 to 6 degrees Celsius warmer than normal. As the trade winds continue weakening, that trapped heat is slowly moving eastward and rising toward the surface. Meteorologists believe one of the first major impacts could appear during the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. When the Pacific Ocean becomes extremely warm, it changes wind patterns high in the atmosphere. These powerful upper-level winds move across Central America and into the Atlantic Ocean. This phenomenon is called wind shear. You can think of wind shear like an invisible atmospheric wall. It tilts developing storms apart before they can fully organize.
The storm is intensifying.
Authorization code 47 Delta.
Arthur is moving faster than projected. Alert coastal communities.
2026.
Analyzing
Around
the
13
Pacific heat
storms are
anomaly.
currently projected, compared
Jet
to the
stream
average of
shifts
about
are
15.
creating turbulent weather patterns.
Fewer storms does not mean lower danger. The Gulf of Mexico and the Western Caribbean remain unusually warm.
Analyzing
And
current
those
atmospheric
waters can still
conditions,
fuel
wind shear
extremely
force is highly
dangerous
turbulent.
hurricanes close
Confirmed.
to the United
Data
States
indicates
coastline.
severe weather intensification.
History has already shown this before. Both 1992 and 2018 were El Niño years, with relatively fewer storms overall. Yet those same years produced catastrophic Category 5 hurricanes like Andrew and Michael. Sometimes it only takes one storm to change everything. As winter approaches in late 2026, the effects could become even more visible across North America. The enormous heat released from the equatorial Pacific can reshape the jet stream over the United States. During a super El Niño, the jet stream often becomes stronger and shifts farther south. That jet stream then begins transporting massive amounts of Pacific moisture directly into the United States. For the West Coast, especially California, this could mean repeated atmospheric rivers. These powerful storms can deliver enormous rainfall totals, but they can also trigger catastrophic flooding and deadly landslides. The same jet stream could then spread heavy rain across Texas and the Gulf Coast, and when that moisture reaches the southeastern United States, especially Florida, it collides with extremely warm and humid air. History shows that strong El Niño winters often increase the risk of severe storms and tornado outbreaks across the southern United States between November and March. Meanwhile, farther north, across the Pacific Northwest and parts of Canada, conditions may become warmer and drier than usual. Across the Atlantic Ocean, El Niño can also influence winter weather in the United Kingdom and Northern Europe. In some years, it contributes to colder and drier winter conditions, but Earth's climate system is deeply connected, and the impacts of a super El Niño will not stop with North America. As warm water shifts toward South America, countries like Peru, Ecuador, and northern Chile could experience devastating floods and relentless rainfall. At the same time, the Amazon rainforest may face severe drought conditions. And across the Pacific Ocean, Australia could experience the exact opposite effect. As the warm water and tropical rainfall move eastward toward the Americas, the Western Pacific may become cooler and more stable. That could bring widespread drought across Australia. And when drought combines with extreme heat, the risk of catastrophic wildfires rises dramatically. So, no, El Niño is not simply warmer ocean water. It is an enormous transfer of thermal energy from the ocean into Earth's atmosphere, a force powerful enough to disrupt weather patterns across the entire planet. And based on the massive heat currently building beneath the Pacific Ocean, some scientists believe 2027 could become the hottest year in recorded human history. So, what has the weather been like in your area recently? Have you noticed any unusual climate patterns or extreme conditions? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to Territory, because this is your world too.